Now, as you all know, between 10 to 12, every Monday to Thursday, you're graced with the wonderful voice and, the wonderful presence and grace of Sister Razia Rangrage. And today marks a significant date, which 4 revolutions around the sun. We said we'll talk about it like that. So, Sister Razia, assalamu alaikum and welcome.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be on Social Network.
And it's such an honor having you. I feel a little bit intimidated of you. You're moving with 4 years in a row, yeah?
4 years.
4 years. How do you feel?
Alhamdulillah, time just flies. And it's just a reminder how time flies. It's like you blink and I almost feel as if I just started the other day, subhanAllah. But, coming here, I did hear you talking about your favorite surah.
Oh wow. Yes,
and that is so beautiful because often I talk about it on my show. There's a lot of people that go through things and it's the beautiful antidote for depression. And I think today getting together with the wonderful urban woman that took the time out and came through to join us.
Thank you. You can send the invoice later.
So alhamdulillah, they often say they speak about their depression and how they go through life and things like that. So it's very much a reality. And the antidote, of course, is look at people worse off than you. And after the event, there was a lady that called me and she's just telling me everything that is just so bad in her life. And again, I told her, look at people worse off than you. And who is that? Look at the people in Palestine. You're still sitting comfortably in your home with your bed, with your health, with everything. Surah Al-Duha is beautiful. Just to answer you, my favorite is Surah Ar-Rahman, as my listeners would know.
Absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful surah indeed. You were speaking about just now earlier, you're saying it's like, you look back and it feels like still your first day of doing radio. Now, my question to you is, talk to us about that specific day when you first put on the headphones, you sat yourself in front of the mic, and that was the first show for Urban Woman. What went through your mind? What did you have prepared? And how did your first day go?
That's a very interesting question because I remember being called through for an interview and Mr. Basha, he actually identified my talent, which I didn't know at the time till I was like literally pushed into the deep end. And he says, basically, I'm not giving you an option. You have to be the presenter of the Urban Woman Show. What's your issue? He tells me. Says, I watched your videos on social media. I watched everything. What's your issue? And I said, content. I mean, 2 hours, 2 hours. Yeah. That's not easy, right?
Not easy.
Content, you can't just then talk about anything because then you go around the sun to get to the moon. So he says, well, anyways, we'll try and assist you. But what else is your issue? And then I said, okay, if it's coming through, if something comes, opportunity knocks on your door, it's because you're ready for it.
Absolutely.
So it's your bravery now. Do you want to take that step? And clearly that helped me to identify talents within myself that I didn't know I had. So alhamdulillah, then Zoha tells me, well, can you come through on Monday? Because this was on a Thursday, a public holiday, and come through about 10 to 10. So I said, fine. I came, I sat in. It was Sister Samira at the time that was the Urban Woman presenter. And I just sat in. And then she just said, can you just say a few words? And so I did. And then they said, okay, tomorrow we're going to PMB, join us. And I joined them to PMB and then I said a few words there.
Wow.
And then Wednesday, she's saying, bye, listeners, this is your new presenter. And Thursday was my first show. And literally like that.
Sure.
Just like thrown in.
The deep end, yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember, right, okay, I had the weekend and that Sunday to prepare now for Monday. Like, okay, now this is real. 2 hours. I don't have the help that I thought I'm going to get, but let's see what I can do. And lo and behold, I thought my life would no longer exist because sitting on a Sunday preparing content for 2 hours for the whole week. And I thought, is this my life now? And I got so scared. Wow. And then, you know what? Once you start, it's like, you learn how to ride a bicycle. And then subhanAllah, after that was just wonderful. But then and again, so much has happened. We had COVID not too long ago.
I was about to ask because it was 4 years ago, it was during COVID, wasn't it? Just before COVID happened.
I started in October and then the next March was the lockdown. So doing it from home. That December I had COVID. I didn't even know initially. Coming on, acting like, oh, I have so much energy. And the moment my show is over, I'm flat out, not knowing it was COVID.
Sure.
But quarantine just to be, be safe.
Be safe, yeah.
And then after that, it was the riots. And I just thought to myself, Ya Allah, if you're putting me on such a platform, there's a purpose. What am I meant to do? It's like to inspire people, give them that hope, give them that courage. And I remember before starting my show, my one auntie gives me a call. So, we waiting on the other side. You can hear the news and there's this call coming through and I'm contemplating, do I take it? Don't I take it? And I said, okay, fine. I take it. And my auntie says, Razia, they're coming to the beachfront. They're coming.
Right. Of course, yes.
And I'm like, oh my. I put the phone down. Now, all you can you picture this?
Worst case scenarios, yeah.
Worst case scenario, this crowd coming, breaking down the glass, getting up to your flat. What do you do? And now I have to go on as the Urban Woman presenter, inspiring people, being energetic and positive. Can you imagine that?
It's a conflict of emotions there. Absolutely. But how do you handle a situation like that?
So I had to block it out and breathe and be present and know that I have a purpose. There's people listening in. They are scared themselves. What is my role? Not to bring them down. And then at the end of it, guess what happened?
What happened?
Nobody came to us.
That's good news then. That's how the media can really sort of instill fear in a person. But that's what's the reality. I mean, we had COVID, we had the riots, we had the floods, then we had the tornadoes. I mean, I don't know what's happening next year. Because it seems like a franchise is going on every year in Durban. What next kind of thing. So inshallah, everything will go well moving forward. But now you've had an event today, which was in the conference center. Talk to us about the event. Who attended? Who came there to share moments with you? And what was sort of the program this afternoon, this morning?
It was so wonderful because when I walked in, I was just amazed at the decor and everything, the color scheme, and our ladies did a fantastic job. And just looking at our listeners that took that time out to join us because they wanted to soak up their positive vibes.
Yeah.
It was so wonderful, the feedback and that they smiled and all dressed up. On a weekday, when do you really dress up? But dressed up, and they came and just to be part of our live show and the feedback that we got. And then, I think the most, the beautiful part was that I was waiting to see who's going to win that air fryer. We had amazing sponsors that came on board. And I want to thank your sponsor as well, One Stop as well, for contributing to our goodie bag.
Thank you, no problem.
So then I said, Ya Allah, I always, Nia is so important. Innama amalu bin niyyah. So I said, Ya Allah, often we hear of people just receiving gifts and they have it. They have enough. And then there's those that really feel bad and say, I wish it was me. I said, Ya Allah, whoever really needs it, let them get it. And I wanted to see who walked away with that air fryer today, right?
Yeah.
And so Husna pulls out a number 43. And then Sister Aisha Simji, who is the owner of Doha, and she was also one of our sponsors today, she's like, that's hers. What number did you say again? That's hers. And she's pointing to her auntie. So I take the mic and she says, did you receive my message earlier? And I said, no, what message? And she says, here's it. I sent it through. She sent it through to somebody else to obviously pass it on to me. And she said, read it while I just talk on this lady's behalf, my aunt's behalf. I said, okay, fine, do that. May I read this message, Sahir? Can I just share
Please.
Right?
Yes, we'd love to hear the story.
So it says, Salam, Sister Razia. It's Aisha Simji. Just wishing you all the best for today, and may you keep on doing the excellent work you do for years to come. We all hope to keep hearing your beautiful voice and words of inspiration for many years. Today, I am bringing my aunt for your function. Her husband is the late Mr. Ibrahim Simji, who ran the Al Ansar feeding scheme for years until his demise during COVID. Unfortunately, during her iddat, his wife found out that she has cancer. Since then, it has progressed to 4th stage cancer. She isn't doing too good and doesn't go anywhere. We beg her to come to our house, but she declines. I bought 2 tickets to your function today and told her it's Razia Rangrage's function, and to my surprise, she accepted it. Wow. Alhamdulillah. Just to let you know what an impact you have, there are so many people who are suffering physically and even mentally, who have become recluse and even too sick to leave their homes. But listen to your ear and feel so uplifted and inspired to carry on their day. Food for thought, all the best for today. Love and du'as, Sister Aisha.
Oh.
And that was the lady that won it.
Oh, she won.
Sister Aisha's auntie, who didn't want to go anywhere, found out during her iddat that she has cancer.
Oh, goodness.
And she was just whispering to Sister Aisha at the time, I wish it's me that wins it, and she needed it. What a beautiful story. And then there was another old lady that called me. And she, they were so interactive, and that's what I loved. And she says, I took out this abaya and this hijab, and I asked my daughter-in-law to iron my hijab because it was creased. Why do you think I asked her to iron it? And I said, I have no idea. She tells me, because I didn't have an iron. And guess what? She had worn an iron just before that.
Oh, goodness. How's that one,
It was just
So it's your takdir, it's your takdir. Yeah.
But it also proves, the positivity you put out, the powerful words of thoughts. That's dua, essentially. And Allah Azza wa Jal will grant it.
Now, for the listeners out there, people's hours are all over the place, and those are listening now, maybe a different audience, you don't know.
Yes, correct.
How would you sort of encapsulate the essence of what Urban Woman actually is and means, and what does it strive for in terms of a brand or a show?
Absolutely. Wonderful question. So for those who don't get to listen in, it's all about being an empowered woman, because a woman is so powerful in many aspects, whether we like it or not. We've got to basically rise to the occasion, and we got to serve so many roles. And Allah Azza wa Jal has blessed us with that ability. He's given us so many traits and talents and skills. And it's about honing into that and yet doing it as a correct Muslim.
Absolutely.
So we have so much of beautiful role models, our Ummahat al-Mu'mineen, that have done so much, and to remind us that we shouldn't be constricted by our cultural programming and conditioning, which limits us, but to aspire to be like them, and implementing that love for our beloved Master Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and helping us to know that, shift that focus from society to what pleases Allah Azza wa Jal, do what pleases Him, and be the greatest version of an urban woman that you can possibly be in every way possible. So it's all about inspiring our women and helping them to live in consciousness, as I say when I end the show. Live in consciousness, live in awareness, be present, and live the life you love with gratitude and tawakkul in Allah.
Sure, I feel positive already now. I feel like I can just
conquer
the world right now.
You go for
I can just conquer the world right now. So let's talk about also these different segments that you present on your show. I mean, positivity you can see is a key essence of your show. But how do you sort of navigate through the week? How do you choose your topics of discussion? Is it current? Is it something that's playing on your mind? Is it personal? Is it sort of suggested? How do you pinpoint what sort of discussions and topics you choose for your listeners?
I think being current is so important when you're on radio, because obviously people need to be informed. So definitely what's current, we bring it in. It is the Ladies Lifestyle Magazine show. We try and keep it lighthearted, because I do believe that there's a lot of heaviness out there. Think about it. It's the negativity that makes the news, and it's the negativity that bonds us. Wherever you go, did you hear the price of petrol? Did you see what our government is doing? Right? So it's just this negativity.
Yeah.
So basically we do food. I know you do a lot of all these things as well. And you also try and keep it fun, which I think is so needed and necessary.
That's what the industry is about.
Yeah. So we have all the segments that basically help women. Beauty, food. We touch on fashion. We also do about the mindset, which is so important. Yes. What is current? What is trending? What is happening is what we touch on.
So the show sort of ties in with what your profession is, because I think you also focuses on the well-being of an individual, and all starts with the mind, is it not?
100%. Our thoughts.
Absolutely. Oh, I wish we had more time. I'm on a roll here. I know it is time for the 4 p.m. news, but very quickly, for the listeners of the social network right now, what words of inspiration can you pour out to them? And tell us more about your show, when we can tune into you.
Yes, be sure to tune in Monday to Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 12, inshallah. And if you do miss them, we have some, as you know, now we go live. So you can always watch those podcasts on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And just remember that women as women, I think in today's time, it's all about social media and how we can keep up to that. But when you go deeper, and again, shifting your focus to Allah Azza wa Jal, that helps you to really be authentic, to be fearless in your authenticity, and again, going into your natural fitrah. So enjoy life from that perspective of everything that we are allowed to do, and just, live with positivity. The curveballs will hit us, definitely. And again, inna ma'al usri yusra, with difficulty there's ease. So shift that focus to ease and get through it. And inshallah, that join us again, as I'm going to say, on Urban Woman, Monday to Thursdays, 10 to 12, inshallah.
There we go. That was Sister Razia Rangrage joining us here this afternoon. Thank you so much for coming through, sister. Wishing you all the best. Another decade or so or more in the future with the show, and alhamdulillah, continue to persevere and spread that positivity and that energy across the network. And
for our listeners. And I also want to take this opportunity to quickly say congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And to Mrs. Basa. May Allah Azza wa Jal grant you both a lifetime of happiness. And in this dunya and akhirah, may you be companions.
This is Shadi Mubarak. Shot.